What's going on, everyone? So we got to talk about Cronos. Been a good little minute since I made a video on Cronos, so let's get over this. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but let's talk about it because as you can see, Cronos has been selling off pretty much since the highs back inside of August, right? It's been selling off since then, as do pretty much everything. Everything was selling off since there. But we've seen Cronos going back to lows that we haven't seen since 2023. So yeah, that's actually crazy. We're down 29% on the year here, and Cronos 2.9 billion market cap, 17 million inside of trading volume. But if you look all the way back here, Cronos hasn't been this low since 2023. All right, so this is kind of crazy. So yeah, Cronos has not been all the way down to 5 cents since 2023, and it hasn't been below 7 cents since 2023 either. So that's a really, really, really big deal for us, right? So what you're seeing right here with this is called a bearish expanding triangle. So if you look right here, the bearish expanding triangle kind of goes upwards like this, almost like a crocodile mouth upwards, right? And what we're seeing here is the bearish expanding triangle. All right, so that's a bearish signal. All right. In my previous video, I mentioned something very important here that was 5 months ago, October 20th. I'm going to go ahead and let this play for you guys.
I know a lot of people are probably like, no, it's gonna go up there before then. Look, the year's almost over at this point. Is there a possibility that it can just start running? Yeah, it's possible, but typically when we have big sell-offs like this, there's always some type of consolidation period, right? You can consider this the consolidation period.
So as you can see there, I pretty much mentioned what I'd seen was going to pretty much happen for Cronos. I was like, by January of 2026, we're going to be all the way down here at this trend line around 8 cents. Now, I was hoping that when we hit that this bearish expanding triangle would be a false flag, right? I was hoping that it would be a false signal, but it wasn't. Bearish expanding triangle remained a bearish expanding triangle. So what we seen inside of January 2026, I was right about that, which was down here. I was like, hey, we're gonna hit this by January 2026. We hit it, and then we kept going below, and we stopped at the support that I had set down there. And you can see that support I already had it set inside of there as well, because that was always a possibility. And the reason why we stopped at that support specifically was because we've been doing it since 2024, right? We've been doing it since 2024. So for the last 2 years, even back in 2023, it was used as resistance. But yeah, for the last 3 years, that's been a significant support and resistance. So we are now at the bridge of going down below that level, which is not good. It's not good. We don't want to see that because look, we have respected the trend line up here at the top multiple times. So 1, 2, kind of stay below it there. So I would put that as 2.5. And then we hit it for a third time up here, 3. All right. So that is actually very important because when you look down here, you see that we respected the trend line multiple times, right? But we just did it way too many times. Literally, we hit it way too many times, and then X marks the spot. We just started to dump from there. So this is very important because the next breakout, we're looking at this going all the way up here sometime in 2027 when we enter our bull market, all the way up to like 60 cents or something. All right. So I think by like 2027, 2028, we'll see 60 cents, more than likely inside 2027, hopefully. But yeah, that's what it's looking like here for Cronos. So it's going to take some time, and Cronos is about to enter some new lows because if this support right here is broken, now we can kind of go back to the shorter time frame, the daily chart here. But look, if this is broken, we are coming down. We are going down, down, down. Right, we're going down to this support right here next. So let me go ahead and get this. The next one will be 0.061. The reason why I just now marked that on my charts is, this is pretty much how I find all my little micro supports, as I like to call them. We just find the highs and the lows. So that's a high there, boom, that's a high there, resistance, resistance. We got some support here. Let me zoom in so you can actually see that support. So yeah, you can see some support there and a little bit back there and a little bit of resistance right here as well. So yeah, there's a lot of different levels that we have to watch out for here. And, 6 cents is coming soon. So I hate to say it, but a lot of people probably don't want to hear it, but 6 cents probably coming soon. And yeah, it's been a pretty interesting journey to say the least inside of Chronos, right? But the next thing that I really want to talk about here is bullish divergence. This is something on the MACD, right? It's called bullish divergence. It is described as lower lows on the charts, on the chart candlesticks, and higher lows on the MACD, right? So we see on the chart, we have been steady creating lower lows, right? Boom, steady creating lower lows on the chart. As you can see, bullish divergence, lower lows. And then we can come over here and look at the MACD. And you can see now we are also steady creating higher lows on the MACD. The lows are getting higher on the MACD. That's how bullish divergence works. So my only question is, are we going to stop here where we have stopped for the last 3 years? Or, and when I say here, I mean right here. Are we going to stop here where we stopped for the last 3 years? Or are we going to finally break this 3-year trend and go down to 6 cents? Either way, we have bullish divergence. So we're going to go up either way. But the question is, do we go up now or later? Right? That's the true question. Do we go up now or later? Right? We go up right now at 7 cents, or do we go up at 6 cents? That's the question right now. And if you look at this, it would be approximately a 13% jump or 13% drop. So if you're long term, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal if you're long term, but if you're short term, that could mean the world to you. So yeah, get your ducks in order, as people like to say. Now look, this is a descending triangle. This is why I believe it's going to be bearish. This is a descending triangle right here. And descending triangles are bearish patterns. They're not always bearish, right? Because I think it's like a 70 something percent win rate to the downside. So they're not always bearish. But more times than not, they are bearish. All right. The mostly is always bearish. But we can also see over here selling pressure building up on the MACD. A pullback might actually happen. It might invalidate the bullish divergence if we break down here. Because look, just because there's a bullish divergence doesn't mean it has to be a big bullish push. The bullish divergence might just be building up. So when it dumps, it tries to push up back up to like 9 cents and then continues downwards. Or maybe it tries to push up to 7 cents and continues downwards. So that bullish divergence doesn't mean it has to be a massive push upwards. It just means it's building up for that push, right? And that push might be small. We see it time and time again where there's a lot of stuff like that happening, especially on Bitcoin. Bitcoin just did the same exact thing. We were building bullish divergence on Bitcoin, as you can see here, building some bullish divergence. Even here, we were building bullish divergence, but we were literally doing that just for the smallest push upwards, right? So for this one over here, it was a very small push up, right? And it was a bull trap. It was a bear flag. Bear flags are bearish signals. Well, that one was actually a rising wedge, which is like the sister or cousin of the bear flag. So rising wedges are also bearish as well. So that's what happened there. So pretty much what I'm saying is this bullish divergence could be a trap to where we hit 6 cents and then it tries to break above 7 and it continues downwards to like 5 cents. So the bullish divergence can still be a trap. So what I'm looking at right now is this descending triangle. It's a bearish pattern, so I'm looking more bearish, right? And then on top of that, Bitcoin is breaking down. And after doing my analysis on Bitcoin, check out all my Bitcoin videos. You can easily find them on my channel. But after doing my analysis, I'm expecting Bitcoin to hit 50K soon. And if Bitcoin reaches 50K soon, then what I'm going to be expecting for something like Cronos it's going to be about 5 cents. I'm expecting it to go lower than 6 cents. I'm expecting it to hit 5 cents, which is its 2023 lows, which is why I titled the video the way I did. I think Chronos is inevitably going to go down to 0.048, which is 5 cents. Well, I'm gonna just say 0.048. I think eventually Chronos is gonna do that, but I think Chronos is gonna do good for the next bull market. But it's gonna do what it usually does, right? Like if you look at how Chronos has been performing over the last 3 years, I mean, it has its pumps, but then it dumps right back to the same price as almost all the other altcoins have been doing recently. But yeah, you see it pumps and then it goes down, pumps and goes back down to that price, pumps, goes back down to that price, pumps, goes back down to that price. So if you're doing something where you're like trading Chronos, like getting in, swing trading it, getting out at the top, or maybe you have the crypto.com card and you're staking your Chronos and you're getting rewards, I guess it's no big deal. But it just depends. Are you long term or are you short term? But yeah, I do believe Chronos is going to come down here a little bit more. So I would definitely say be careful. Be careful right there with that one. All right. Buying pressure should eventually come in because we've already had so much selling here. You can see the MACD looks like it wants to switch bullish. The real question is, does it switch bullish now? 6 cents. And if it switches bullish, is it going to be a trap or is it going to continue downwards to 5 cents? So that's pretty much what we're looking at here with Chronos. All right. So yeah, but I still like Chronos as a project. I think it's still a good project. I'm still bullish on it overall, you know. And yeah, I think that they're doing a lot of good things. They're doing a lot of good building, and they've really been building a lot. This is coming directly from the Chronos app because not only do they have the Crypto.com app, it's coming from the Chronos app, right? So says you already know which apps you'd use for stocks, crypto, and prediction markets. But why should you need three? Chronos app is all of them 24/7 markets. So yeah, Chronos has 24/7 markets on their app. Like that's actually crazy. They've been doing a lot of building on crypto.com app and on the Chronos app. They've been doing everything, literally. And now they're also targeting Gen Z. They're calling Gen Z not reckless but realistic because 80% of 80% invest in high risk stuff because the old rules aren't working. Like Gen Z is down. Like Gen Z doesn't have any money. Gen Z is trying to make money. They're trying to bounce back. So they're being realistic, not reckless. Because as you can see here, risk appetite among Gen Z is through the roof because 80% of them are saying investors, 80% of Gen Z people are saying that they plan to invest, but they're in high risk speculative assets because they're financially behind. Like literally everybody in Gen Z is financially behind, right? I'm actually the last year of millennials, born in 1996. So I'm the last year of millennials. So I'm like a hybrid between Gen Z and millennial, right? I'm a hybrid. I'm a hybrid baby. But yeah, that's what's going on with that. And then over here, the gold market is worth 15 trillion and Chronos app is tokenizing it. So soon you'll be able to trade gold with any amount 24/7. So they're doing some good building. That's why I believe Chronos will do good in the future. They're always going to be tied to crypto.com because crypto.com created it, right? So they're always going to be tied to the top exchange, which in itself is such a bullish thing. And not only that, you have super bulls, right? You have people that are super bulls, people that are always bullish and they'll always be bullish and continue to buy Chronos and hold it. So this guy, Oscar Ramos, says that he has been holding Crow since 2021, right? And we've seen a lot of people do this left and right. This person cons, he's been buying and buying and buying, and every month he adds more Bitcoin and Chronos. So people are placing Chronos alongside Bitcoin, which is pretty huge. Not only that, the CEO Chris of Crypto.com, he's always promoting it as well. So he puts the IRA now inside of Crypto.com. So there's now an IRA plan inside Crypto.com. It says this is huge. Crypto plus stocks in one place in a tax advantage way, up to 5% match and 2% bonus. So now you can have Cronos in your retirement plan through crypto.com in an IRA. So, that's pretty good. But on the other hand, things are still looking a little bit bearish for Cronos. We're still seeing people shorting Cronos. We're still seeing a lot of traders, pretty much pushing the price down. And, rightfully so, because they're smart to short it right now because, everything's super bearish. So why would you not short? But yeah, it's been pulling back a lot. And like I said, the support zone that we're facing, critical zone, this is what this person's pointing out, critical support zone back there. And yeah, we're at a very, very critical support zone. Very critical. And if it continues to go downwards, I mean, we're screwed, right? I guess not really screwed, but screwed until the bear market's over, right? The bear market should end by the end of the year. The bull market should start by the beginning of next year. It's usually how things go. We stay in a bear market for a full year. That's how it's looking. All right. And then you can look at this CRO holding key support potential bounce set up toward higher levels. And like I said, everyone's anticipating this. The Super Bulls, they want it to go up. But the way I'm looking at it, we have a bearish pattern. So I'm leaning more bearish. Not only that, I already mentioned what's happening with Bitcoin. So I got to lean more bearish. I got to go with my gut. I'm leaning more bearish for right now. And we're in a bear market. So it's obvious we'd be bearish. But yeah, that's a descending triangle. So I'm going to be watching out for this and paying attention to what happens next. And I'm going to keep you guys updated on Cronos. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. If you want me to go over any crypto for you, just go ahead, or any crypto or stock, go ahead and become a member of the channel. It's super cheap. I know it says 600 pesos a month. That's because I'm in the Philippines right now. But for $9.99 per month, you could literally go on to any video inside on my channel and be like, hey, Marcellus, go ahead and go over this. Like, Marcellus, go over Cronos, please. And then you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna reply. I'm gonna be like, okay, I'll go over Cronos, please. I'm gonna be like a robot. But I'm gonna go over Cronos for you if you want me to go over Cronos. Comment on any one of my videos. Be like, hey, go over Bonk. I'll go over Bonk. So if you guys want me to go over something, go ahead and give me a recommendation. All I ask is that you guys become a member of the channel to help support the channel. Only $9.99 per month. So yeah, big shout out to you guys. And also, if you want the best trading view indicators, check out Chart Prime. Link in the description for that. And this is just a little bit of a preview here for Chart Prime. If you guys want to see this, it does everything for you automatically. So everything that I do, it does for you automatically. Notice how we're all the way down here at this high volume profile right down here. So this is high volume inside this level, and that's why we might see a little bit of a push downwards. But I'm pretty confident that 4 cents might be a bottom for Cronos for this bear market. It could go down lower, so don't mark me on that, but we have a lot of volume in this area. So I'm looking at it as if it is going to be a good level to, get in at. So that's how I'm looking at Cronos right now. And if you look at the 4-hour chart, we are also at a discounted price zone here on Chart Prime. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we had a bounce here, but it would be a bull trap. So I wouldn't trust it at all because it would more than likely continue downwards. So that's why you also got to have some discernment and know how to do some manual technical analysis, not just automated trading indicators. But shout out to Chart Prime. Go ahead and check that out. And if you want to trade leveraged Bitcoins, leveraged crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, anything, you want to trade leveraged gold, leveraged stocks if you're outside of the United States and you want to benefit from the US stock market, you can trade Amazon, you can trade Google, Tesla, Meta, you can trade literally everything. You can trade gold, you can trade Forex, you can trade literally everything, and you can do it with a bunch of leverage, right? So go ahead and check that out. Link will be inside of the description. Again, big shout out to everybody. Let me know what you guys want me to go over next. Become a member of the channel, all that good stuff. And as always, I'll be back with another video.